Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you. I must, at the outset, thank Yakult India for inviting me here to deliver this talk and for kind words from Professor Lahiri. Probiotics and antibiotic-associated diarrhea, something which we very commonly hear, something which will be different from such a futuristic talk which we had prior to this about the use of probiotics. But I guess this is something which all of us do here. I would, at the outset, repeat the definition, what is a probiotic? Because this is something which I repeat to make myself realize that live microorganisms which, when administered in adequate amounts, confer a health benefit on the host. They should survive stomach acid and bile, establish residence in the intestine, and impart health benefits. We've heard this time and time over again. I'm not going to repeat, but just basically symbiotics which contain both pre and probiotics. And you have a list, we have gone through since yesterday, a list of probiotics which are in use. The initial intentional probiotic use, you see the photograph of Professor Mekhnikov, how he had used it and how he ended up utilizing it in so many places. Probiotics, just briefly, the colonization at birth with maternal species, species-specific organism by age in first year becomes established by year 1. And the probiotic species-specific organisms are so good that each individual has got its own probiotic nature. You can actually see it like the lines on your hands or a genetic makeup. Scientifically, it has been proven that after reviewing a majority of research and literature relative to probiotic use in humans, it is clear that diarrhea is the condition most beneficially treated by probiotic therapy. This can include diarrhea associated with antibiotics, traveler's diarrhea, gastroenteritis, lactose intolerance, IBD, and these are the areas which I guess in this symposium which will be reviewed. Diarrhea per se, I don't have to define, but it's frequent loose stools along with excessive loss of fluid and electrolytes. It can be acute or chronic. You have these various kinds of diarrhea, osmotic, secretory, inflammatory diarrhea, motility-associated diarrhea. And probiotics seem to be working at all levels. How it works, probiotic mechanisms for prevention or treatment of diarrhea, it protects the intestinal epithelial barrier, where you have so many of these probiotics which are known to help lactobacillus, acidophilus, thermophilus, prevent enteroinvasive E. coli disruption. BSL-3 is known to cause tightening of the junctions in salmonella infection, and so many more. Regulation of intestinal epithelial homeostasis, the inflammatory cytokines and chemokines which are downregulated, especially by Lactobacillus casei. And you have the others also which show that. What I'm going to focus will be on regulation of intestinal microbial environment, where disturbance in the balance between the host and commensal bacterial flora in GI tract is associated with antibiotic-associated diarrhea, also with fungal infections. And you have various probiotics which are known to help. There's also this mechanism where there's modification to commensal and probiotic bacteria to enhance diarrhea prevention. Basically, there's a toxin receptor blockade which is created by the probiotics. So this is in general the mechanism which leads to protective part of probiotics in diarrhea. Hence, it affects in most of the places. And it's very easy for us to conclude and say, when we study a few of these papers, like you have the Lactobacillus GG, Saccharomyces boulardii significantly reduced the incidence of antibiotic-associated diarrhea from 18.9% to 5.7%. Combination with susceptible antibiotics decreased recurrence of C. diff infection. You have during antibiotic treatment, reducing the frequency and duration of episodes of antibiotic-associated diarrhea.